Welcome everybody, this is your Strategy Wolf and welcome back to Strategic Command American Civil War in our fourth turn versus LCanidestroyer in the rematch with our Union side. Last turn we've been basically focusing on our research efforts and still mobilizing, dividing troops all over the map. Really haven't seen too much engagement yet, so let's just jump in, watch the replay. I guess this time we should encounter really the first battles, or apart from Missouri, so it's going to be interesting also how the diplomatic or research front develops. So let's get in and watch the replay together. Alright, there we are. Okay, Fort Monroe apparently being blocked off. At least they're pushing up to Alexandria, but no battles or anything. So yeah, but it seems like first front line seem to establish, or if you want to call it front line. All right, Niagara disrupted Confederate convoys. Union soldier Joshua Fowler writes hard tech comes again no more. One of many Civil War song parodies. All right. There we go, our troops from Colorado arrive in like Oklahoma here, and we have one brigade and one frigate to put down. Let's see, anything outstanding before I go into my thought process or my chamber. So we see here they close up to Alexandria. There's no indications or any further, we don't know what's behind that, but also they don't push up here. Interesting. Oh, quite. I feel like the enemy is quite defensive or not that aggressive. Let's have a quick look at the reports together on the enemy spent another 200 MPPs on diplomacy. All right. Last time I was really scared after finishing, because remember the enemy spent 300 last turn and I expected it to be one in Kentucky and one into a major power. In the aftermath, I was kind of fearing that it was 3 times into Kentucky, and I'm underplaying this. At the same time, since there's a new 200 MPP investment, I kind of feel like this should be, or this will be, a great power. One of the European great powers. So this actually calms me down a little bit. Anyways, I have further thoughts to check this, analyze a little bit more. Or can we see any movements in terms of diplomacy? No. But we have a max of 3, I guess, right? Or can we go up to 5? I think we have 5 chits, but we can only invest 3 in one power. Well, 5. I like this strong diplomatic start by the enemy. However, with the European powers, I don't want to randomly invest in somewhere else. But we will see. I think I'll just have my closer looks and take my thoughts, as you know already, and be right back after a short pause. See you in a second. Okay guys, I'm back. I just had my thoughts and checked the map entirely and sincerely. And I'm here to present you my moves. So starting off as always in the west, which is at the moment Oklahoma / Kansas or Missouri over here, since New Mexico, the front isn't active yet. However, I was a little bit concerned if this was the right move to move this Colorado regiment over here. I will use them now because I don't want to follow, maybe because of the sunk fallacy theory, sunk cost theory, hopefully. Oops, my my brain. No matter what, I'm gonna use these troops down here because now they're here and they can be useful down here. I'll force march them down here to Fort Scott and maybe stabilize in this area. To not leave New Mexico fully alone, I'll move these troops probably after their job right now. These regiments is at the moment limited. I'm just taking over towns as here, and probably I think I'll move them over as some kind of support. Apart from this, when they are done, or when Missouri surrenders, I will move these regiments back to New Mexico. So I think they will be replaced, and I have at least something over there. Talking about the fall of Missouri, let's go to Jefferson City itself, which is probably the most relevant side at the moment. So we can attack already with 1 loss, and we see the enemy is with lowered supply and lowered readiness. Our HQ doesn't provide any support right now, but we should, let's see. Okay, well, the luck, I mean, sometimes with a little bit of luck. Oh see, 2 damage. Oh wow, now we have a little bit of luck. So actually Jefferson City falls this very turn which means the rest of Missouri is going to surrender, which is very pleasant for us. Good occasion to go to Pleasant Hill over here, haha, and go down to Butler. Alright, which means, okay, let's then use this cap here for some reconnaissance. All of Missouri is gonna flip, apart the hexes where the enemy is positioned, so if the enemy is like somewhere out here, they're gonna be out of supply, which is can be quite beautiful. And here, no, Lebanon also. Where is the enemy? I feel like the enemy was too scared of this and fully moved back to the border, basically. Of course, I can't tell for sure from this side, but yeah. Okay, you guys can go this direction, I guess. You need to take Jefferson itself. Here with our troops in Saint Genevieve. I feel like Greensville or Cape Girardeau, they don't have any relevance or urgency. So actually, I'm gonna move back to Fort Davison just to prevent any seizure of this one, because this is the hardest one to take back because of the fortifications. And then we shall wait how the flip turns out next turn, where the enemy is really located, and then we can move all these troops in a defensive or let's see, or even offensive position. Here we have fighting spirit objectives like Fayetteville over here. If the enemy doesn't want to focus in Arkansas or Missouri, we can try to force them, but yeah, this is for sure not going to be our main theater. Well, at least I can say this was a quite successful, quick capture of Jefferson. Normally, or turn 4, I'm not sure what is normal. Let me know if you have any experience. Anyhow, yeah, I'm happy with how it went. This Timberclad, I'm gonna take over here, yeah. Probably to Cairo. I was thinking about supporting the attack on Jefferson City with this one, but since this turned out so we won this so quickly, I just have it here to control either yeah, the Tennessee, Cumberland, or Mississippi River over here, yeah. All right, coming to Western Virginia, we've got still McClellan's move in here, and we came over here from Guyan Dot, so. We can't see, we don't have the reconnaissance, but yeah, we go for it nevertheless. Okay, we'll take Beckley hopefully next turn. You guys move into Sutton. Support this approach a little bit, while you guys... Kind of... I feel like they wouldn't have moved troops up to Charleston. Worst case, I can also, yeah, force march them over here. Okay, then McClellan will go to Charleston, probably take his position over here at Beckley, I'm not sure. Alright, taking us over here. So Philippi, there we have the problem, we've got partisans over here. So we've got to leave this unit actually here to protect that. Morgantown we don't, so... Nor in Wheeling. So we can consider or like think about where we will use these troops. The problem is with... yeah, I think you can support a little bit here. I think here's the... Actually, going... It just said we want to... Okay, you're staying in Philippi. You are going here. With the trainer, maybe you can take this train line, yeah. Maybe we'll take the train also to put the train just here to prevent the partisans from spawning. It's also an option because I'm really not a big fan of the trains. I feel like they're really good basically for that. Okay, with these dudes, do we want to march them down to Western Virginia or rather to the front over here? I feel like maybe they're better over here. Maybe from here we can still decide where we want them. Also, one brigade could put some pressure here on Shenandoah Valley from the west. However, as you see, let's have a look on the supply situation right now. Or for next turn here, the envisaged when you see supply is really, really a problem here in Western Virginia, especially if you come into the Appalachian Mountains. So, yeah, and we don't have strong units or strong HQ at the moment. This is mainly about occupying Western Virginia, but yeah, we're doing it, so this is good. And these dudes... Actually, let's go to Sutton too. Or even one further, yeah. Since or over here, actually. McClellan, yeah, I feel like here we don't need them. There's no enemies in the end. Okay, here you have the middle position. You can decide where to go in the future. Brilliant. Alright, then let's get to the Virginia front, the main one. And here's the first encounter with the enemy. We are not, let's actually set him to auto assist as well as McDowell as well. So you can, I highly recommend this so you have better control, but it's also not, if you forget about it, the auto is doing some kind of good stuff. And we took Harper's Ferry last turn as kind of a bridgehead. Let's then solidify this one and extend the bridgehead a little bit. I just wonder how we're gonna do that. Probably here, 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 and the HQ moving in. I guess so. And maybe even you this, yeah. Alright, this looks like a solid base of operations over here. We've got one new brigade, which I also bring down here, yeah. So then you guys, maybe you kind of, then as a kind of reserve, you take this bridge here, yep. And these guys, yeah, can also be my new reserve over here. I feel like I don't want to push out without any reconnaissance too far here, rather stay in this solid defensive positions, I feel like, and keep these bridgeheads for the moment until we have stronger units to help out. Yeah. Alright, which is basically, so we've done with the land already, yeah, the first turns are very fast always, which leaves us with some ships to handle, and sure, we have to do that. I feel like we're just gonna move southwards. At the moment, I want to focus mostly down here on the Atlantic, yeah. Well, I could consider bringing one more frigate, this one maybe to Key West. We just have one frigate down here, right? And we have high sea routes that will open up very soon, yeah. And also from here we could potentially operate up here for these routes. Actually, this is, we're gonna move the, where are we? In New York, right? The Wabash frigate will go to Key West. And you guys here, we're gonna set them up as a radar, yep. And march them out. Oh, I thought they would be, well, they can't make it actually. Sad, but the next turn, I guess. Then we don't have to force march then. Just have them out here, while you guys... Oh, also can't force march them up to this line. So maybe we go here to the junction for the moment. Yeah, we don't have enough ships right now, definitely, but the routes are all not on yet. That will be definitely some more in the overtime. And yeah, we definitely need to focus on getting some ships out. But for the moment, yeah. We have to focus, that's obviously the problem. We have some... Where can I have Portsmouth? Where's that? NH, Portsmouth, NH. Ah, here. NH, New Hampshire, okay. Sorry guys for mixing up your states here and there or not being so yeah, secure about that. So basically this is it here in the Atlantic. We've got... Yeah, this Powhatan frigate, what these lines are not in service yet. Same for here. You are raiders anyways and set in case they start. Which leaves us again to research and production. We had our big push in production in research last turn. And we, of course, the one invest in diplomacy. And I was thinking again, of course, everything is possible. It might be the case that the enemy has invested 310 Kentucky. Which means, from my understanding, she should have a 9% chance of a success, but I have got 3, so minus 3, I feel like it should be a 6% for every turn, so it's still a bonk play. Even if she invested very much, it's not super likely that they're gonna hit, and Kentucky's gonna flip, so I decided not to panic and stay cool, and worst case, retake Kentucky, and keep it with my, at least for the moment. Maybe I'll put, if I can... have some left, I'll put some more into Kentucky next turn. But for the moment, I feel like I'm gonna keep research and production focus. The same with the big powers. I don't see a reason in like investing 200 MPP now in yeah, in the research where I don't even know which one the enemy is focusing on or anything. So when we're not under pressure at the moment from this side, since they are at like all below 10%, right? Oh, Spain is at 14. Did she get the Spain as a sponsor? Hard to tell. No matter what, we're gonna do some research And I've had some thoughts. So this turn I'm gonna activate a couple of more research that I want to get done, and then probably next turn I start double chitting for the really relevant ones like infantry equipment. Yeah, you could argue it would be super important to get out right now already, but there's a lot of other stuff that I also want to get out, and therefore we'll start with these things, starting with Cav Tactics. Yeah, as you see, just some organization, some defense, some morale for cavalry, and we have some, so I don't want to ignore this, just to get it out so it starts running. Next one, Scouts. I feel like especially, yeah, we can afford them. And as you see, they're over there. I would love to have some Cav or Scout around, but we don't. It's a balloon. And the balloons, I tried a lot. I was a big fan of them. Also, they're cheap to research, but in the end, I feel like they're so slow, and there's only few moments where they come in handy. I'm not excluding them yet, but I feel like I'm not going to focus on balloons. So I'm getting at least Scouts once out here. Yeah, Cav equipment would be also a big deal, but yeah, right now not. We're gonna also follow up with Ironclads. You would wonder that I put so much early on focus on ships. However, I feel like if I have the protection, the extra Ironclad protection out early, I save some MPPs or some units that will not be sunk and can withstand much harder fire, especially in the rivers and so on. This might be useful, so I'm happy to invest at least one level in Ironclad. And yeah, as I said, I also want to play with Navy, and herefore I'm gonna get also one amphibious warfare out, so we can build more Marines and have better Marines. And yeah, which basically implies I also gotta start using building Marines very soon. So much about research. We spent already so we've got to spend 800 more next turn. I'm happy for your suggestions how to spend them. I mean, like skirmishers, interesting. Cav equipment could be also interesting. The mortars also. Of course, double chitting infantry equipment is probably a must, and I will probably do this. Core organization, interesting. Here you could also always argue of double chits in this passive area, but also spying and intelligence, logistics we are ready, or production are interesting for us. So yeah, I will have some thoughts, and probably until I play, I will not be finally decided. So yeah, this offers a lot of stuff, but now I feel like the most essential, a lot of stuff is going on already. Yeah, and it makes progress every turn. So from now on, I feel like even if I have to purchase more and cannot spend so much, I'm in a good position where I feel well with that. And yeah, let's have a last look how much actually enemy spend on research. 1,100, and oh yeah. Looks we are going like in terms of, we didn't spend a lot of diplomacy, but we are way ahead in research spendings at least, and should keep this position over time. And the enemy spend, okay, something on units, but also not a massive build-up. Which leads us to, for me, to purchasing action, and we have got 400 left, but I will not get a division right now. We cannot get any brigades anymore. We start with divisions probably next turn. I'll get the one ranger we can. It's a little bit cheaper and faster to get, and yeah, maybe in Western Virginia or in the Tennessee front. I feel like more in the rural areas it will be quite helpful. And yeah, we get the ranger out. It supports us quickly. That's helpful. And on top of the ranger, I also got to, I can afford one river ironclad, and it takes okay, 4 turns, so a little bit longer. It will show up in October at 61, and I feel like it's quite expensive, 150 in comparison to the other gunboats or river gunboats, which cost only 50. And the timberclad's 100 or 80, but with the ironclad I have kind of a strong position up here in the river that should help us out. And I don't know how much the enemy invests, but beating the river ironclad in the early on also kind of requires ironclads yourself. So, and I feel like control here of the rivers has some or a lot of value, and therefore I want to get at least one river gun ironclad out. They're gonna be more, by the way, so in the future. This one is intended for the rivers, so if we plan, for example, a New Orleans landing, which is absolutely, or here a mobile landing, which is on my mind, we would definitely also need some river gunboats that can, yeah, help out here, driving up here the Mississippi or Alabama River. So, yeah, especially the ironclads, river ironclads are going to be helpful. But this one is for up there for the Tennessee, Cumberland, and Mississippi River. Are we giving them the naval engines? Yeah, why not? And it's going to be the Cairo because it's going to be stationed in Cairo as well. All right, let's have a look at our production chart. What we can expect next turn in probably like July. We've got the 2 brigades. Oh, okay, that's kind of it. We get a lot of gunboats early next year, so our fleet is going to increase. But we also need to build some extra boats and ships. Yeah, a lot of stuff to do. But as you see, like our production will go up significantly when we invested our 4,000 in research, since now we can only do 800 more. And then we have tons of MPPs left for fully accelerating our build up. But I feel like if the enemy doesn't do that, I can happily invest in research at the moment. And it's, yeah, the earlier the better, I assume. So I feel like this is okay. Or makes a lot of sense like this at the moment. So let's do one last control before we finish this turn, since I feel like I've did most of the things I wanted to do. Yeah, down here, these guys stay wherever they are. Yeah, here... I feel like this is the place to be, and you get some reinforcements with this regiment. Yeah, they won't get us off the mines in one turn with regular units down here. All right, guys. So much about this. I hope you like this. Let's finish off the turn together before I send you goodbye. Missouri surrenders. Wonderful. 177 MPP that we capture. Unfortunately, I would love to... Okay, let's read this first. Secretary of State William H. Seward. Our consulate in Antwerp has reported a most interesting development. After some informal negotiations, the great revolutionary and unified of Italy, Giuseppe Garibaldi, has expressed interest in crossing the Atlantic and leading an army against the Southern Rebellion. General Garibaldi has proven his military talents, and if we were to accept his offer, we would likely inspire thousands of volunteers in both Europe and America to fight under his banner on our behalf. The general has informed our consulate that any support he provides would be conditional on an immediate proclamation announcing emancipation of all slaves within the rebel states. This noble proclamation would be well received in Europe, but it is sure to inflame tensions within the border states, which could lead to more states seceding from the Union. Furthermore, by accepting assistance from Garibaldi, we will be weakening our diplomatic argument that this is purely an internal matter, which may seriously increase the risk of European support for the rebels. These discussions have so far been unofficial, and there will be no penalty for declining Garibaldi's offer. Would you like to invite Garibaldi to fight for the Union? Notes. This is a big one. Saying yes to this decision will provide you with a series of further events related to General Garibaldi. These can provide you with considerable benefits, but also come with very great risk. Saying no will mean that General Garibaldi plays no further role in the war. If you say yes, the Garibaldi HQ with a very high command rating and 2 brigades will appear in Philadelphia November 61, and your fighting spirit will increase by 2,000 points on their arrival. In addition, a convoy from Italy will begin running from that date. There will be no MPP cost for accepting the decision. The Emancipation Proclamation will reduce our fighting spirit by 12,000 points immediately, although this will recover by 124 points each for the rest of the war. In addition, British, French and Spanish mobilization will fall by 40-60%. However, Missouri and Kentucky, if these states are still neutral, will swing 5-30% to Confederacy. Oh god, dudes, this historical Lincoln's government was in discussion with both Garibaldi and the Italian government between June and October 61, ultimately refusing Garibaldi's offer. Well. I kind of would love to know if the Emancipation Declaration will happen immediately. Or will it happen immediately, or just in the moment when we accept it now? Well, okay, now I wanted to look at the map basics. So we have enemies here in Springfield. So the rest, they are fully withdrawn from Missouri, apparently. Okay, that's interesting to know. Alright, so we can, next turn we should move down very quickly. Back to the Garibaldi question. I said so because the intro to this, and I was kind of tempted to go hard with Garibaldi this time just to funk things a little bit up, since I do have like a little bit of experience, advantage in the game and so on. I feel like if I just play the very standard game in the classic historical role model conflict, it would be, yeah, it would be interesting to see different outcomes that we have to handle with, and therefore I was very tempted to go for it. However, now with the Kentucky decision, I feel like if Missouri has surrendered already, so this is good. Kentucky-wise, if they flip now, if it happens immediately and they go 30% to Confederacy, then they definitely secede. I mean, it's also not that terrible if Kentucky does secede. It's also a twist that comes, it is like that. Yeah. Anyways, guys, normally I would like to do a proper strategic analysis, but as I told you, I wanted to go funky, so let's call it like this, and bring some twists in here to have some difference in the scenario to the last game. So I will invite him, yes. And I feel like how strongly we will invite him. There will be further events, so we will see. Copperhead Democrats and border states protest against the Emancipation Proclamation. Yeah, it was already now. British support for the Confederacy wanes following the Emancipation Proclamation. Same for the others. I feel like this is a sad effect, since right now they don't have a lot of support. I don't know if it goes theoretically in the minus, and because otherwise we would have wasted basically the 40%. Yeah, you see the fighting spirit hit for us. That will also weaken our forces. So this is quite a tough one, but we will get support at some point. And most likely Kentucky is going to support for Kentucky. The secession wanes following the defeat of the Missouri State Guard. Oh, that's good to have. So with a little bit of luck, Missouri joins the Union. Kentucky tends again to us. Haiti begins exporting cotton to the Union. Very nice. Former Dominican President Sanchez captured and executed by the Spanish. All right, and that's it. Well, we will see the implications of towards regarding Kentucky and so on the next turn, how it turns out, how Mr. Garibaldi is going to influence this very war and the Emancipation Proclamation that we just signed. It's going to be definitely very interesting. I feel like this is going to be definitely a different scenario than the last time. So yeah, it's something new. We will see how both of our sides are going to, how well we're going to be able to adapt. Let me know what you think. Leave me a like and a subscription if you liked it, and that you won't miss the next episodes, also to kind of motivate me. It keeps my motivation high, and thank you so much for that. And then just see you next time with the next episode. Bye, your Strategy Wolf.